Good evening, Sheila. Hey, Diane, how are you? Timberwood Park. Hi, Beth. What's up, Rudy? How you doing? Hola, ole. Oh, they beat you to it tonight, ole. Consistently the first one on. Lucia, how are you? Thank you very much. And a happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a nice evening? We cleared out right at sunset, or just before maybe, by about an hour. The skies were probably the clearest of the day. You know, I mean, it was a pretty cloudy Tuesday, even looked like rain, a lot of low, dark clouds. You're like, where's the rain? It's gonna rain. Grab the umbrella, don't forget the umbrella. But only a few like little sprinkles. I don't even know if we could call it rain, right? It certainly wasn't measurable. So it goes down as a dry, humid Tuesday. The air's not dry, that's for sure. It's a very humid atmosphere. We're kind of ramping things up for the next chance of, yes, again, severe thunderstorms. They're back in the forecast. First, what we're looking at, the pollen numbers here. Lots of pollens in the air, but everything nice and light. Molds, grass, pecan, oak, 290, 50, 10, and 10. That's all nice and light. We'll take it. Olay, what's going on? Hey, Grant. Yes, Lily, we're going to cover that tonight. Good evening, Chris. Good to see you. Kevin, another proud Holosian. Elodia, good to see you this evening, too. Ranchers in Kendall County say, bring on the rain, I bet. You know, and that's the spot. Kendall County, even over to Bandera and Kerr, looks like about an inch to an inch and a half over the next week, which is always good. Gave my dog some garlic. Now his bark is worse than his bite. David, yes, I like it. What's up, Tobias? Dre, what's going on? The Moes. I haven't seen the Moes in a while. A toast to you, my bro. Okay. So first things first. First things first. All right, so radar clear, despite all the cloud cover that looked like rain. All of the rain is up in West Texas. You can see we've got a couple of thunderstorm warnings near Lubbock. We got a flash flood warning as well. But all we really saw were a few little showers come together out to the west. What's going to be happening in the next few days, big systems will be blocked from coming in. Okay, what you're looking at. Hello, Bandera. Hi, Julie. Kevin, yes. Now, that's the problem. There will be a chance of showers and thunderstorms, and the best chance is going to be opening night of Cornyval, Thursday night. That's the night of the spasmatics. That's the big night. But it's a chance of rain all the way through Cornyval. I was talking to the president of the HFA, my good friend David Gray, who was like, is it going to rain on Cornyval? And that's some high pressure when you've got thousands ready to get corny in Helotes, because it's going to be a blast. It always is. But there's going to be a chance of rain every day of Cornyval this year. So, opening night with the best chance. This is why. First off, no big systems because of what's called the omega block. See how you have that big ridge, right? That big ridge in the middle, that's in the shape of the Greek letter omega, is high pressure and a big ridge, okay? What it does is blocks the low that you see over California from moving farther east. It'll keep it west or deflect it north if it starts making a move. So it won't move into Texas, but eventually what will happen is the high, the ridge, will begin to flatten out, as you see here, by Thursday, Friday, into the weekend. Doesn't mean that we're going to get a system. You can see that it's still the main weather player. But what will happen, let me back it up here, show you that with the southwest flow like you see here, and it's not just Saturday, but we can go all the way back to tomorrow. And now we start setting a bit more of it up on Thursday. That's why with the zonal flow, we haven't had a chance of rain at all, really. But now that you see, and the rain that's in West Texas right now is in association with the dry line more than it is anything else. But now you see that southwest flow, Thursday, Friday, that's what's going to send in a couple of little upper level ripples, what we call short waves, these little pieces of energy that are in that flow that kick up enough instability for some rain, especially when you have the moisture that we've had, or we're going to have and continue to have. So dew points are in the mid to upper 60s, 70s. And so that's definitely spelling out a good chance of rain. Medina Lake needs all the rain. Yeah, it looks, we're trying, right? Had some pretty good ones in April for sure. Saturday looks pretty good, Charity. How will the Omega block affect our weather this month? So the rest of the month it won't be affecting, Mark, because the Omega block won't last that long, but we're certainly going to see it for the next couple of days, or we have seen it going into it. Lynn, what's going on? Ready for the rain? Either way, God is good all the time, Lynn. You got it. Thank you for keeping us up. You got it, Amanda. God bless you too, Gabriella. I'm going to explain this in a little while. It's very hot, but I've got to drink it, and I'll tell you why. It's an acquired taste, too. Okay. So let's talk about when we will see one of those upper level ridges move in our direction, okay? Tomorrow, a lot like today. Going to start cloudy, going to probably have a little bit of fog, but then look at this. Here comes that upper level disturbance. Again, small little ripple in the atmosphere, but with the amount of moisture that we're building, the amount of precipitable water that we're increasing, you know, with this moisture that's coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, we're stacking up moisture in the atmosphere, and we're getting that precipitable water ready. So here we are at 11 o'clock Thursday night. And some pretty big thunderstorms develop. West to east, we'll see them in Del Rio, to Uvalde, to Hondo, then to San Antonio by 11 o'clock. So I'll show you, for those of you who do live west of us, Del Rio could get started as early as 7 o'clock up to Rock Springs. Over to Uvalde by 9:30, east into Hondo by 10:30, into the city by 11. And then blanketing most of San Antonio through midnight, and beginning to break up at 1, but still very heavy to the south. You see George West, Beeville. So it doesn't look like the hill country gets much of anything with this. You can see it just kind of clips. It looks like Medina Lake's a cutoff, actually. And then heaviest rain down into Victoria, down along the coast overnight, 3 to 4 a.m., everything's over. Okay, especially in San Antonio. By then, some low clouds in the wake of this system. But it's one line, okay, but it could get pretty strong. Severe Prediction Center does outlooks for 3 days out. Day 1, day 2, day 3 that we can count on. And here's day 3. Subject to change, but for Thursday night, we've got a good portion of the Texas, well, just about all the Texas Hill Country in a 2 out of 5 risk. San Antonio and the Metro in a 1 out of 5 risk. So cities like Del Rio, Rock Springs, Lakey, Kerrville, Bandera, Medina Lake, Hondo, Uvalde, you're all even down Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass, you're in a 2 out of 5. And it's the exact same. You know, it's the hail, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes. 1 out of 5 is going to be San Antonio, Seguin, New Braunfels, up to Austin. Again, for Thursday night. Rob, glad to us. Universal City are not going to get hammered, but it would be nice to see some really good rain. Leftover cold fronts. Yeah, nothing right now, Rudy. We stay warm and humid all week. No cold fronts this week. We do not dry out. So here's the good news. The rain amount in the 7-day forecast is pretty good, especially Kendall County. Kendall County is the best in the area with about 1.5 inches expected there. This is between now and next Tuesday. You can see 1/2 inch to maybe 3/4 to an inch north side of Bexar County, west into the hill country. And that's right on target because of not only the aquifer, but the drought. Look at where the worst drought condition is. Exceptional. All of Kendall, almost all of Kerr, Bandera, half of Medina, no, 3/4 of Medina County, half of Gillespie, all under exceptional drought, the rest severe. So San Antonio's picture, and especially southeast, has really improved because of the April rain. But what we'll see, we'll get a new one of these on Thursday, and we won't see much of a change. I mean, what we're looking at now is not going to be changing much because we won't have enough rain. In fact, they closed the books on the data today. So without getting any rain today. Hello, John Olson. Doing great. God bless you too, and God bless your family as well. Thank you very much for that. Yes, I think maybe just slight chances over the weekend, but the best rain, and you will get some for sure, is going to be overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Hey, Joel, Divine, looking good. You too. God bless. Divine tonight, real quiet, but good rain chance for Divine for sure. That's going to be some heavy rain Thursday night. Thursday night. Liz wants to rain. We'd almost done with baseball season. Just started the season. Oh, yep. Yeah, there's so many different seasons, right, when you consider club baseball and high school. Just slight chances, Frank. Just slight chances over the weekend. So not looking too bad. Nothing to cancel plans over, that's for sure. And I'm telling you, make your plans for Carnival. PRCA Rodeo, Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights. Incredible rodeo action, if you enjoy that. Mutton bussin' to bull riding, everything in between. And then we have, I mean, there's all kinds of fun games, a full midway, a lot of family fun, and a lot of corn. You know, Helotes, that's the name, Elotes, corn, and it's, we get corny, you know. Austin says, keep Austin weird. We say, keep Helotes corny. That's right. Corn in a cup, favorite, guilty. That's the first stop. I go to the corn in the cup booth, let's go, let's do it. That's what happens every Carnival. Hey, Jeff. Jenica says good night and bring on the rain. Good night, Jenica. Sleep well. It's coming. We got it Thursday night. Tobias, relationship between air pressure and weather patterns. How does it influence your forecast? Great question. So air pressure, as you go up in altitude, is getting, of course, less and less and less, right? So air pressure in highs and lows is going to be increasing and decreasing accordingly. So with low pressure, you have rapidly decreasing air pressure, okay? Barometric pressure being the weight of the air. So the bottom is falling out of the atmosphere. It's getting very, very light, very, very buoyant, air pressure dropping. So that's low pressure systems. High pressure systems, let's get back to the upper levels so I can explain this better, are going to be just the opposite, increasing air pressure, rising air pressure, stabilizing air, heavier air. So just as we're seeing over Texas, that's high pressure ridge, low pressure over the Northeast, low pressure over California. And what will happen is that the differences in those air pressures will, of course, influence your troposphere's weather, your lowest atmosphere weather, with sinking air motion, rising air motion. And that's essentially the most influence. You get more of a buoyant atmosphere and environment with low pressure. That's going to lead to more instability and a better chance of rain. Then high pressure is just the opposite, a sinking air motion. You'll also get warm air aloft, which is our cap that we get a lot, which of course inhibits all kinds of convective action. You need cold air aloft for the convective process. So, and then that sinking air also heats things up. We were humid today, so it's not that you're going to get into the 90s every time you have high pressure. Certainly not when it gets that humid. Remember, when the air is humid and there's more water in the air, there's a bit more evaporation, and evaporation is a cooling process. So it actually brings the temperature down a few degrees. We hit a high of 80 today, but most of the day was in the 70s. And yesterday we were in the mid 80s because it was a little less humid. So I hope that answers your question. Essentially, air pressure within lows and highs and how they operate and how they move about. From west to east, typically, we do have what you call retrograding. What some highs and lows will do is go from east to west. It's very unusual, but it does happen. Omega block, absolutely, Diane. So what we're looking at is a high pressure ridge that takes the shape of the Greek letter omega, and when it's blocking systems from moving. So it keeps that low sitting still on the west coast from moving. It wants to move east and it can't because the omega block won't let it. So we can see that as I push this in motion over the next few days, watch that ridge relax a bit and start leveling out. And we still see that southwest flow. So even though it does flatten out a bit, it does not mean a big change in our weather pattern at all. Hey, John, Bandera County, you know, Medina, Texas looks pretty dry even on Thursday. If the models, this model prediction holds true, you'll see that most of this rain coming Thursday stays to your south. Now, we could see a couple showers, on Thursday morning. We're going to have enough moisture to kick up a few showers, about 20 or 30% chance during the day. But I might go up to about a 40 or 50% chance. See, there's maybe, you might get clipped. About 8, 9 p.m. it looks like. There's Medina right there, getting a little bit of that rain on Thursday night, but most of it is from San Antonio south, it looks like, on this round. Weekend looks good, Jesse. Looks good. Hey, Hanak. Slight chance of rain, Liza, on Saturday. Why low red, high blue? That's a good question, Louise. I really don't know on that one. I really don't know. Okay, let's go to the 7-day forecast, and I promise to explain the remedy. So, really not from me. This comes from Nate Ryan, and it's foolproof. And it's not even Nate Ryan's. Nate's got a buddy who lives in Minneapolis, and a cab driver in Minneapolis tipped him to this. He goes, I drink this, I never get sick. So there was a little something going around the newsroom about 3, 4, maybe 5 months ago. And Nate said, I've got a perfect concoction for all of you. And he introduces all of us to this cocktail. When I say cocktail, it is alcohol-free. But it's a pretty good mix and blend. That's why I call it a cocktail. So everybody that drank it felt better. It didn't like cure them, but they felt a lot better. And he also said it's a preventative. So my daughter had a little sinus infection. She hadn't been feeling well last couple days. I said, I need to make a concoction for preventative reasons. I feel fine, but I want to make sure I stay ahead of getting sick. Okay, so you ready? Here's the concoction. I'm not going to be putting it up on the screen. Here's what it is. Most of what's in here is hot water, okay? You can even, I don't think you can see the steam, but it's steaming. It'll steam on my glasses. See? Hold on, I need a swig. Hot water. I put about this much pure maple syrup. Pure maple syrup. Lemon juice. If you're going to measure it out, I would say, oh gosh, not even half a cup. You know, like, no, not half a cup. Quarter of a cup of each of those. Then like half or quarter teaspoon, quarter or half teaspoon. Obviously, there's no measurement recipe, but more than a dash. I would say like quarter teaspoon of ginger, ground ginger, quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper. So cayenne pepper, ginger, lemon juice, maple syrup, pure maple syrup, and hot water.
Nate said that recipe's been passed down to his family for generations, and you're just giving it out for free.
Wow, that's a bull-faced lie. He told us all it came from a cab driver in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Not the Ryan family tradition, no. And again, it's a bit of an acquired taste. Now, the cayenne will get you. If you do too much cayenne pepper, you'll feel it. But I'm telling you, ever since I started doing this, it does. It makes you feel better. If your allergies are bothering you, make this. Have one. All right, rain chances, as I mentioned, once they get here, they stay here. Now, they don't get better than 30%. Hey, David, who won?
What?
The wreath.
Monica Nino.
Monica Nino wins the wreath. Nice.
So we're going to have it until she gets back from Europe.
Yeah. It'll stay intact till next fiesta. My grandma would make for me when I was sick. See, Rachel? Yep. Kevin, yep. Using my medicine ball from the South. Yeah. It's no tea though, no tea bag, but yeah, it's not that bad. It really doesn't taste that bad, especially because of the maple syrup and the lemon juice, you know. All right, so best chances I mentioned, and I might just bump that. I'm gonna go to 40. I wonder what, because they've really, I might even say 50. I'm dying to know what New Braunfels is saying. Let's see. I want to go 50. I always like to see Thursday night. They're staying 30. But I'm going to 40. I won't go 50 unless they go to 40. All right, so Thursday night. And I might go up tomorrow. If the model holds true again tomorrow on that, might even bump it up. But right now, 40%, late Thursday night, but by sunrise Friday, we're done. But then with the afternoon, again, without it being a front and drying out, the atmosphere doesn't change much. And that's why you see the chances continuing right through the weekend. Highs above average. I mean, we should be stopping at 83. We don't stop there all week. I mean, tomorrow's the closest we get at 84. Today was 80. We're going up from here, 90 waiting for us on Friday, okay? So that'll wrap things up on this awesome Tuesday. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening and an even better Wednesday. God bless you. I love you. I'll see you on Ken's 5 News at 10.